bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do? Things Sugar John don't come for you.
Yeah. Copblock Radio is filmed live in secret locations across the country. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. What's up, guys? This is Stephen Freeman from Lehigh Valley Copblock. How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good. This is Matthew Taylor of Carbon County Copblock here. And we have ourselves a special guest tonight.
And this is Paul Gordon of a secret location that I cannot disclose because it's secret. Actually, I'm in Bethlehem, so screw you. So screw you, drones. Fight me! Seriously.
You're killing the magic, man.
Fight me!
I'm not even in a country.
Actually, I'm a computer program, so screw you.
Yeah, I'm coming out of international water.
I am a robot. You cannot see me.
Robot. Yes.
So how's everybody doing this weekend? As I said, I am Stephen Freeman from Lehigh Valley Copblock.
I'm Matthew Taylor of Carbon County Copblock again. And
I'm Paul Gordon of I don't know how to say. Okay, I do a lot of things. I'll say I am Paul Gordon of Full Auto, fullautoshow.com, and also Disassociation Nation, disassociationnation.com. Those are both podcasts. And I'm also doing the Lehigh Valley Volunteer. So come fight me.
Awesome.
That's my new line. I say fight me now after everything.
I'm excited. I got to give a shout out to Michael Fiend, Freedom Fiends.
Yeah.
He introduced Paul and I.
And now we're getting married like 2 days ago.
Yeah, check this out.
It's going to be a beautiful service.
Yes, it is. It is. My wife is really excited about it.
I'm sure Severance is too.
Yeah, she is.
The service is going to be awesome because it will have awesome audio. We will have.
You know it, because bad audio is a freaking hate crime.
Yeah, and it's right here. Can you guys make that out?
Oh,
bad
absolutely.
Hate crime. Matt, watch me. Every time you go bad audio, or every time a guest calls in and I tap this button, that means that he's getting thrown off in about 2 seconds if it doesn't get better.
Yeah. Now because of Michael Dean, actually, when I'm trying to get guests for my shows, I ask them, "Do you have a good microphone? Do you have good headphones?" "Oh, you don't." "Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta go, man. I gotta go. Thanks." It's Jeffrey Tucker. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm too nice. I'm really too nice. I come on and I'm like, I can push through. We'll make this work, man. We want to hear what you have to say. And it's counterproductive because nobody's listening. Once somebody comes on bad, nobody's listening anymore. Everybody's just tuned out, or they already changed the station. It's gone. 60 seconds of bad audio can kill an entire show.
I give you 3 seconds to wow me with your audio, and then I'm Audi 6000.
Ooh, I like the ref.
Yeah. So, has anybody had any contact with any government officials this week?
Yes and no.
Any contact?
I get police reports.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Well, for when I run the Tiger Freedomist also, and we get the police reports, so that's fun.
I wanted to be a part of that with what I do with Lehigh Valley Copblock. How did you get on a list that they would give you these reports or let you know when there's a press conference? How do you get on these lists?
I can't reveal that in public, but we'll talk. We're scheduled to meet. We'll talk.
Yeah, we definitely will. I look forward to it. I thought about going into the DA's office and just making a scene because they won't call me and let me know when they're having a press conference, but I don't know. That's kind of a bad idea.
Probably.
The DA would really like to arrest me. He doesn't like me. He hears about me from every police department.
It's always fun when the DA is when you walk into the DA's office with armed guards around you. That's going to end well.
I haven't decided. Actually, you guys are going to help me decide, and anybody who calls in tonight is going to help me decide. Am I going tomorrow to file my appeal, or am I going tomorrow to go pay $170 in pennies?
I think if you do it in pennies, you're being kind. I think if it's pennies, that's all one single denomination. I think you should really just switch it up into multiple different, pieces of change. Throw some nickels in there, throw some dimes.
That's an excellent point. Because they got to count the pennies. They might develop a system
Exactly.
They might get fast, but if it's nickels and dimes and quarters and pennies, that messes with them.
And it's all mixed up. First they have to separate it, then they have to count each division pile. I mean, if you're going to do it, I mean, really be an ass about it. I mean, make them actually have to put some work into it.
Yeah, if you're going to go A, go full A. I mean, that's what I always say.
I'm really... I have taken 2 hours of the court's time over a spot. You're probably familiar with this spot. You know that spot next to the Dunkin' Donuts on the south side where apparently there's a no right turn there?
It's right over by the Tally Ho pub.
Yeah, it's literally
this is totally inside baseball for us, but okay, yes. There's like 3 people listening right now like, yes! I know exactly what you mean.
I drink there.
I drink there. Don't anymore, but I did.
Anyway, the cops sit there at night, and supposedly there's a no-turn sign. Well, I never noticed that sign until I was pulled over for making a turn there. And I argue that the sign's covered by the trees, and that the heavy police presence directly across the street from where the sign is a deterrent from anyone looking at the sign as they're approaching. That was my argument. Well, the judge actually praised me for my argument, said that if every American was as voracious...
Oh my gosh, seriously?
She really took like 10 minutes to say like this was the most voracious, most intense civilian I've seen standing in front of me to go this nuts for 2 hours. I broke it down. I had graphs. I had diagrams. You should have seen me in that courtroom. 2 hours. And somehow I didn't prove that on that day the sign was obstructed. So she told me that the judge even advised me, go file the appeal because I think that the higher court might have a different decision.
That's hilarious though. You know, you get praised for going in there and defending yourself and everything, and told you did a great job. And then she's like, yeah, but still I'm still gonna charge you $170 for this.
Well, yeah, you did super great, but dude, give us your money.
You know what that praise was? It was a participation medal. Like, don't accept that.
Yeah, because the truth is, if every person did do all that I did, the courts would stop in their tracks.
She was placating you. That's what she was doing. She was placating you, making you feel good. So you could say, well, you know, I did my best. I guess I'll go ahead and pay the fine now. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't pay the fine. I'm just saying because I would need more information, but...
So before we go to break real quick and everything, you did ask a question and ask if we had any interaction with police, and I did say I kind of.
Oh, you did.
I do want to get into this because I do work at a mystery location that I will not actually say on this radio show, but it is a restaurant. Now, at this restaurant, we do have plenty of officers who decide to come in and eat in uniform. I'm really against that, by the way, but the fact that they do it is, you know, their prerogative. But it doesn't mean
they bring their gun in. They really, really like that.
but you know what that means is the fact that if they're still going to continue to patron where you know, I cook their food, I'm going to cook their food the way it's supposed to be cooked. I'm not going to do anything to it. But what I will do is if you decide to order something, let's say like a sausage, that I can carve a nice little message into, I definitely will. And tonight I decided to definitely carve into their sausages. You know, Copblock Radio, 10 o'clock p.m.
So you carved that into the sausage. There's all kinds of metaphors going on in my head.
Oh, yeah. Right now. Yep, carved it, deep fried it, and it showed up real nice. Copblock Radio, 9 p.m. Wow. So
that's just good marketing. That's what that is.
You know, sometimes they get taxation as theft. You know, other times they get
reaction.
You know, they've come to it. They've come to expect it. So it's one of those things like they almost seem giddy to see what my message to them is.
So they order. So they messages and they keep coming back.
I mean this in the best way. What you're saying is cops come to your restaurant because they like your sausage.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna float that out there. I'm gonna let it hang.
I'm not. They definitely like to put my sausage in their mouth.
We just lost everybody. Oh,
or we gained them.
I was just gonna say, or we gained them. We gained 3 people with that one. Come on.
They're like, they're going out of pocket tonight. I'm definitely tuning into Copblock Radio.
We're gonna be back with a commercial break. We have our top story of the night: the Milwaukee Riots. We have several stories other than that, but we're going to be coming back and talking about Milwaukee. So tune back in. We'll be right back with another segment.
The government might not like, then this free ebook may save your life. Rats is your guide to protecting yourself against snitches, informers, informants, agents provocateur, narcs, finks, and similar vermin. Rats was written by OG libertarian Claire Wolfe. Rats is a short book, easy to read, and available free in many formats. Download Rats free at rats-nosnitch.com. That's rats-nosnitch.com.
Every once in a while, you get information that's worth changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. I know this sounds unbelievable, but at my house, we saved as much as 45% off of a new item on Amazon. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveitpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is your Robertson Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Wednesday, gold is $2 lower at $1,345 per ounce. Silver is 15 cents lower at $19.70 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $571 US. With silver heading lower, this is a great time to buy on the dip. Get started today and give us a call at 800-874-9760. Visit us online at rrbi.co.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM. 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Money, power, and respect are all yours at creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com. Be seen as an industry leader. You can do it. The last application you filled out when it was time to hit submit did your nerves spike. You didn't get the approval you seek. There's a better way. We teach you exactly what to place into the right systems the right way the first time so you get approved. Get up to $100,000 in instant business credit. Many people will get cash on the spot. Use those two tools in your new corporate credit engine so you can walk into the bank and get your funded today. It's all about today at creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com. Credit Success Secrets Revealed is explosive and ignites instant results. Dial 1-800-707-8719. That's 1-800-707-8719. 1-800-707-8719. Or just go to creditsuccesssecretsrevealed.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Welcome back. This is Copblock Radio, and we have a call-in line. We want to hear from you. So why don't you give us a call? You can call in at 413-418-COPS. That's 413-418-2677. I want to hear from you. I think you're really cool out there, and I really want to hear you on the radio. So come on, call in. What's up, guys? How's your break?
I got Joy. Oh, I'm echoing. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Severn, point at your sign. You did it.
Point at your sign. Yep, point and look at it yourself.
It wasn't me.
No, it was you. It could have been me. I'm perfect. I never do anything wrong, so it couldn't have been me. I checked. You know what? I investigated myself, and it wasn't me. I got to enjoy Matt. Matt, do you prefer Matt or Matthew? I think I want
Matt
to
works.
this. Matt, do you? Do you really? All I know is that you write messages on sausage. That's all I know about you. But
hey, that's a good business.
You know what? Writing messages on sausage. If you can make a living off of that, more power to you. But I got to enjoy a special moment with Matt. The music was grooving and he was kicking it, and then the music cut off. And there was like an awkward turtle moment. It was wonderful. Too bad nobody else got to see that. Wasn't it beautiful? It
was great.
I enjoyed it.
And you know what? That's the reason.
Everybody watching right now live on YouTube gets to see that. And
they got to see the awkward turtle. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
Next, I want the awkward turtle dance. I don't know if I'll get in on that or not.
You know what? Because the commercials were playing, my screen was probably full screen, but anybody who looked down at the bottom screens were probably watching you dance during the commercial break.
Awesome!
Yes,
so that line wasn't wasted.
No, absolutely not. And you know what? I have a special, name for that dance. That's the dicks out for Harambe. That's
okay. Well,
that's what that is.
You got to do what you got to do for Harambe. God rest his soul.
I don't
Absolutely.
get it.
Moment of silence.
Did I miss
Moment of silence for our sweet print.
Moment of silence.
I don't understand the reference. Did I miss a joke?
Gorilla lives matter.
You don't remember the gorilla at the Cincinnati Zoo that was shot for basically lording over a toddler who fell into his encampment or his that was Harambe, our sweet.
Oh, okay. Why is it dicks out for Harambe though?
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Hashtag.
It's a thing, dude. You don't question a thing.
I'm definitely gonna look up
internet thing.
Now.
That's all it is.
You are questioning the Twitter sphere. That is impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I feel like I missed? A whole bunch of really dank memes, and I'm really...
Yeah, your memeology is slipping. That's what it is.
All right, well, you know what? We actually do have stories to get to tonight, and there's really one... Come on.
I don't know. I'm kind of digging on the Harambe vibe here.
In case you guys have missed the news and have been living in a tunnel, or under the ground, or whatever...
Or in Harambe's
cage.
Empty cage.
Empty cage. Well, all hell broke loose. Our country, not our country.
Our country?
Well, people within this borderline decided that enough was enough over a shooting, another police shooting. And we have Milwaukee this time. Milwaukee has riots. They've been going nuts. There have been reports on the mainstream media that white people are being attacked, that they're burning down neighborhoods. Well, I don't know how much of the mainstream media's reports I buy. I've watched a few videos showing a few things that are very upsetting, and me and Rick actually got together the other day, and he's the one that told me it was happening. I didn't realize it had broken out. We were hanging out, and he said that it was going on. And we pulled up YouTube and we watched a few videos, and I just said, "Listen, let me pull out the mic. Let's talk about this real quick for the show."
Now, that's Rick of Allentown Copblock.
That's Rick of Allentown Copblock. Yeah.
Love you, Rick.
Love you, Rick. What's up, dude? If you're out there watching.
I haven't met you, but I'm gonna say I love you anyway, so that I could fit in, because I am a conformist. So I love you, Rick.
Listen. We want to orgy on Rick.
Okay, good.
But I want to play that real quick. Him and I spent about 5 minutes sitting and talking, and I want to play that up until our commercial break here, and we'll come back. If there's any time left, we'll discuss it a little bit. But
all right.
I think that I just want to say an overall statement on what I feel about the things happening. Because there's a lot of people saying that the cops deserve this, and all types of other things. I want to say personally, I don't support this. Violence is not the way to solve this. If these people peacefully assembled around their police stations and demanded that these cops be accountable, they could have gotten 10 times more accomplished and still had the nation's sympathy. Now they look like a bunch of animals attacking people, and it's not right. To turn this into a race war when there are equal, if not greater numbers of races being shot and killed every day, this is not a race issue. This is a serious police issue in our nation. And violence isn't going to solve this. Violence is only going to beget more violence. It always does. They're already calling National Guards. You bring guns against the police and they'll bring bigger guns. The military backs the police. We cannot win this with violence, guys. I'm out here every day fighting, and if one of you guys in my local town picks up a gun and shoots a cop, they come after us. They come after every single one of us. Then it's a war. You don't want this to turn into that. Right now, we have the moral high ground. We are morally right. The police are wrong in the way that they are operating in our country. We can overcome that as a nation without resorting to violence. We can just use our numbers and the fact that we are a democracy to get these people out, to get police out that are doing this, to make a stand. But the people have to acknowledge it in power. So we have to use our numbers to force them to acknowledge it, not use our numbers to create what I just watched. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You're destroying your own neighborhoods, your family, your friends, everyone. You're destroying your own neighborhoods. People's lives are being ruined, and the police are going home. They're not feeling this the way that you want them to. It's not the way.
I just got to say, I agree. Violence is not going to solve what's going on. I understand. I totally understand. I totally get it. You're sick and tired of the same old bullshit. You know, police not internal investigation, and they find no wrongdoing. And maybe once out of a year, a cop goes to jail for murder. You know, I understand it. I understand it. This is why I film cops, to protect people from getting hurt. But causing a riot, it's not going to solve the issue. But I do understand your frustration, because I'm sick of it too. This is not going to solve anything. This is going to take away, they're going to go in and take away people's constitutional rights. They're going to ban the right to bear arms. They're going to ban a lot of stuff in the Constitution. You're going to destroy what we have right now as far as our United States Constitution. This has to stop. I'm calling for peace. Please stop rioting and destroying your neighborhood. Pick up a sign. Pick up a bullhorn. You know, make a statement. Show up at your city council, your mayor's office. You know, sit down on the street. Don't move from there.
We're on commercial break, so I just cut it.
Are we going to be able to talk after the break?
Yeah,
because I got plenty of stuff to say too.
Yeah, you guys are next. That's after that plays. I was gonna just turn it to you guys to hear what you guys have to say. So,
well, we're just gonna talk about Harambe. Screw this.
Well,
yeah,
that's cool, Ray.
I'm gonna play the commercial. So
okay.
You guys can talk about Harambe in the chat.
No, I'm just kidding.
You need several accounts in order to have a credit score. Just keep the corresponding payments within your means. For your mortgage pre-approval and refi needs, start by visiting VanDykeMortgage.com.
Corporate NMLS 3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. you'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. For years, LRN.FM has had a listen line that you can call and listen to LRN.FM anytime. Now we're taking the idea to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line. You can call 641-793-9660 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed, and you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long-distance fees may apply. Just dial 641-793-9660 and choose from the menu. 641-793-9660.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends radio show. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgoristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agorist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agorist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any tomfoolery. So go with AgoristHosting.com. And if you want to get your foot in the door with decentralized marketplaces, Agorist Hosting is now offering Open Bazaar hosting. Go to agoristhosting.com, click on the button that says Get Hosted. Agorist Hosting, that's AGORIST hosting.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Welcome back to another segment of Copblock Radio.
Awkward turtle dance. Had to get that in. I got to participate in Awkward Turtle Dance this time.
Before we cut out to our commercial break, we were talking about, we were actually playing me and Rick's opinion that we had recorded earlier today, or yesterday actually. So I'm going to finish up that recording. It's got about a couple minutes left, and then we'll come back and discuss it.
Let the police act, like animals like they are. Don't do this. Please stop it. You need to stop. More people are going to die. I don't want to see that.
We'll be live on the air this coming Wednesday, and we're live every Wednesday discussing what's happening in the country. There are plenty of ways you can get involved if you want to get involved. There are plenty of things that you can do. This is not one of them. So if you want to be productive in this fight, then why don't you go look up the peaceful groups, look up the people holding police accountable. Stop calling us all criminals and degenerates when we ask for justice. That is why people are angry. It's despicable to watch someone murdered on video and have people say that it was right. It's despicable. We can do better as a nation, and that's why I fight. I believe we can do better. I believe in us as people can do better. So let's do better. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
So you guys are on live on Wednesdays?
I have no idea.
Oh wow. What's the day today?
I should tune into that.
Yeah, I know.
I should too. I can't tune into it though because I'm talking to you guys right now.
No,
yeah.
You guys are probably on right now, and you can't. That's terrible. You guys are talking to me while you're on the air. That's incredible. That's.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we like pretend like this is a professional radio, but it's all just illusions and bells and whistles.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, we're all actually in our parents' basement. I've confessed to that before.
I thought I was in your parents' basement. Where am I at?
I don't know.
What do I do with my hands? But no, let's get serious for a second and talk about this. Okay, so these writings the writing that's going on. I agree with you and Rick completely. I don't understand where they think this is going to get them. Now I know in the past we had talked about this topic, Severin, and you fell for a while on the other side of the spectrum and thought maybe rising up and going this route might actually achieve something, but there's a time and a place and a way to do it, and they have just really just missed the mark on all of it. Now,
who's the they?
Black Lives Matter.
Is it Black Lives Matter?
Yes, Black Lives Matter is taking a big claim to credit for a lot of these riots, and it boggles my mind. Okay, because you have a man who was gunned down because what they say is he had himself an automatic weapon on him and whatnot. Okay, you know what? Official story. Let's even just put that to the side. Right now, the Black Lives Matter is protesting the fact that another African American, lost their lives to the hands of the police. But they're going about it, and they're actually, if you believe mainstream media, they're going after, Caucasian people and saying, get whitey, basically. Which really bothers me and boggles my mind, considering it wasn't even an African American officer who shot this man. It wasn't even a Caucasian officer. It was an African American who shot him.
Let's get real. There are racist piece of shit white people, and there are racist piece of shit black people. And all this was an excuse to get violent for a couple people.
Well, that's my question.
Just looking for a reason. Already racist group. Looking for a reason to beat up some white people. But the media did blow this up. I think this was a isolated group.
That's my suspicion. That's kind of where I was going. This is why I was asking the question. Who are we talking about? Are we really? I'm no apologist for Black Lives Matter at all. First of all, Black Lives Matter is actually in the pay of very wealthy white people who have very bad designs for black people. So Black Lives Matter is nothing but a useful idiot for folks who hate them. But that's another story altogether.
Because they're trying to claim a race issue, and any one of them will say, no, it's not about that. It's not about that. Well, I'm sorry, but if you need to explain your name to not seem racist, you're racist. Get your name changed. If you really mean all lives matter, then why do you get offended when people say it?
I will make the case that the phrase Black Lives Matter is not a bad phrase, except for the fact that it's been co-opted by a group that doesn't represent those interests. The black community.
It's not like that, but it's like, why would you want to walk around saying just Black Lives Matter? Why aren't you showing up to the white people?
Because how are you going to get people to show up en masse to do the useful idiot things that you want them to do? You do what the mullahs in Iran do. You do what all the despots do. They identify a boogeyman, and you rally around that boogeyman. And Black Lives Matter, the group, on the payroll of very rich white people, has made whitey the useful boogeyman. They have just like the devil
said it was a black cop this time. Like,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't. The black cop is an Uncle Tom.
Instead of attacking the entire problem, you're just attacking part of a small little.
But they're not trying to solve a problem. They're trying to create a condition. I tell you, they're trying to create a condition. And the condition that they're trying to create is to federalize all of this. That's what this is about. That's why I know that you have a story later on I'm going to kind of preempt and briefly touch on, where they're going to have that database, where they're going to show.
You're obviously on a different side of this as me, and I may be ill-informed, but isn't a federal oversight a good thing at this point? Isn't
horrible? No, horrible.
No, never.
Do you want to remove accountability even more than it already is to a distant
Hell
land?
no. I need somebody
Severin, do me a favor.
not connected to the cops to be calling the shots.
Severin, I need you to do me a favor real quick.
You need someone
real
local,
quick.
not a federal agent in
I mean, I agree.
Washington.
Anything the government does, or should the government, that's the beginning of the sentence, this answer is no at all times. But
right.
I've been looking at this like anyone overseeing, at least they're doing something different.
No, Severin, listen, okay, first of all, take your hand, go like this, and smack it.
Yeah,
Bad.
yeah.
Bad.
You know,
Bad.
bad logic is a hate crime.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
All right.
Well, I've admitted this. I don't know if you know this, Paul. I've admitted this in the past. I'm newly free. Okay, I am newly free. Right around the time I started on this show.
You're doing it again. You're doing it again.
You're.
I
Bad
still
audio.
have
Does not mean bad audio. Bad
audio. Severin.
audio.
Mute
Ladies
yourself
and
for a
gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing bad audio. Please do not panic.
I was just muted.
Stay right.
Still doing it.
Shelter in place until the proper authorities do arrive.
All right, but I would really like to. Oh God, I'm doing it too, aren't I? I hear it too.
I hear it.
It's everybody. Severin.
It's like our show is burping. Automatic burping.
Yeah, I just totally muted me and my soundboard. You guys were alone in this hangout. So if you guys still hear it, it's not me. It's on your end.
No, it can't be on both of our ends. You're the one running the sound quality and the soundboard. It's got to be going through you.
I don't know what's happening, guys.
I think the NSA does not want us revealing the truth.
You know what I'm thinking? Maybe it's Google Hangouts trying to get everybody used to not wanting to use it now. I don't know. But we're coming up on a commercial break, so we'll try to get that audio issue fixed if anybody's out there. Anybody in the YouTube audience, if you guys can give us a comment and let us know if you can hear it on your ends, that would be really helpful. But we'll be right back with more Copblock Radio.
Yeah, apparently it sounds good.
No.
People
it sounds
around
good to our viewers.
Using their money.
I've got somebody who's listening to us right now. It's not doing it to me right now, but I've got somebody who's listening to us, and it says it's fine. I don't know if there's something else that you have connected, or if even you have something Wi-Fi that you're setting on top of your soundboard, but that's enough that it's going to really affect your audio quality. That's the reason why 90% of the time I turn my phone off so I don't get that horrible sound. But according to people
I don't
listening
have
to
that.
us,
Paul, do you maybe have your cell phone? No, our mics are cancel it out.
Yeah, my cell phone's off to the side here. I know about keeping electronics away from my mixer because I
Ian,
experienced that.
Can you hear us, Ian? All right, I'm getting a call on the Copblock line. Hang on. Are you guys still hearing that?
Not right now, no.
What is it?
I don't know. There's a good chance that It could just be the fact that the fact that you're broadcasting and everything's going through. It could just be the fact that you're running into bandwidth allocation issues, and it's just severely putting a crunch on our.
Steph, are you on the internet? I need you to stop playing on the internet for a little bit.
Yeah, because Rick was even just saying he heard it through everybody.
Of course, it's a really, really good show that this is going to happen at.
Absolutely.
I blame Harambe.
No, don't blame our sweet prince.
I blame the killers of Harambe. That's who I blame.
There you go. Let me see if I can find this, because I got a question for you while we're on break.
How do I know if my Windows update is trying to update right now?
It would be in your bottom right corner of your taskbar.
Even on Windows 10?
Yep, I have Windows 10.
Yep. I hear you breaking up too now.
I don't.
Son of a bitch, man. The kids' TV has to go off too.
Up now, I hear you breaking.
Steph, turn your Wi-Fi off. Yeah, welcome back. I think we solved some issues during the commercial break.
We're hoping.
I'm hoping. I kicked everyone off the Wi-Fi's. I don't know. I just updated to Windows 10, and it does almost everything on its own. So the only thing I can think is it's trying to update. And if it's my audio, then I guess I get my butt whooped later because I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's terrible, terrible injustice to all of humankind.
It sounds clear right now. Does it sound clear to you?
It sounds like a baby's butt right now.
All right, good, because I just kicked everyone off of the home's Wi-Fi, and I'm an idiot because I'm still on my house's Wi-Fi on my cell phone, and so.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I just kicked everyone off in the whole house, including the kids' Roku in their room. So
gosh, what are they gonna do? They're gonna have to play board games. They might have to talk to people. Can you send them outside to get on Pikachu Church or whatever? Just send your kids outside and search for that Pikachu thing, whatever it is. Pokemon, that's it, Pokemon. I'm a hipster. I'm down with this. I know what you're talking about. And we were on a good roll there too. And then, dude.
Yeah, we were going good. It was a nice show. I mean, I'm enjoying the dynamic. You're a good. You're pretty funny. I got to listen to your show more often. What's that again?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I do two shows. Two primary show. I do Full Auto, which is you could go to fullautoshow.com, and I do that with my gun buddy, and my fellow anarchist friend who you're going to meet, Dimitri. He is just the one-name wonder, Dimitri. And then Disassociation Nation is on disassociationnation.com or fprnradio.com. You'll find us on that. And Full Auto is Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Disassociation Nation is Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the way God intended it. I'm just saying. Right?
What's right? I don't know. Oh, I don't understand why we do time differences anymore.
Me neither. But you know what? Eastern Standard Time, since it's my time, it's the best time.
Well, no, I'm like daylight savings time. Like, what's the point of that anymore?
Oh, I can't stand daylight savings time. Daylight savings or savings, either one of them. I can't stand them. I really don't like them. It totally knocks you out of your rhythm, and you find yourself as you're approaching daylight savings. You're like a few days beforehand. You're like trying to trick yourself to get in that new reality. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like I really think it's you seem like a conspiracy theorist. Let me bounce this off.
Not really.
It's the government trying to keep us on our toes and not.
Yeah. I'm actually a stoic, so I don't go down conspiracy theory paths too much. Not that I don't. I believe. I don't believe anything, and I'll believe anything. I don't know if that makes sense. But
Let me ask you this. Here is your Copblock Radio live test right now.
All right.
Here it is.
Should I have clothes on or off?
Does jet fuel?
I'm taking them off.
Steel beams.
Does jet fuel melt steel beams? It depends on the narrative. I think what narrative are you trying to advance?
No.
Which,
Science and the truth.
No. Nothing to do with science. Science is a distant ivory tower that nobody cares about. All we really care about is what advances the narrative. And if your narrative is advanced with it melting steel beams, then it can. And you'll find a way to make it happen. And if it can't, then it can't. I'm highly skeptical of the events of 9/11, but I don't.
9/11 was bad.
I don't pursue it. I don't even know if it's a real date. I think they just made it up. September. I think that's just a made-up month. Seriously. You guys are with me on this, right? If you look at if September spelled backwards spells Illuminati, come on.
I don't think that's
we
real.
all know this. You know what? You know what? Facts are just an impediment to a good narrative. So let's just not ruin this with facts. If you spell September backwards, it spells Illuminati. We all know.
Sounds like we're going the Hillary Clinton route.
Or Donald. Either way, Hillary, Donald, Hillary, Gary Johnson. They're all.
Yeah.
They all swim in that.
It's a bunch of billionaires that run everything anyway. They're just figureheads. They're like the queen. They're like the queen in the royal family. They're just figureheads.
They're just WWE characters. That's it.
Anyway, before
but we were talking about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, we were talking about Black Lives Matter and Milwaukee and our take on like what's happening. So, Matt, you were cutting out. So, did you want to pick up with any thoughts or feelings?
Dear Lord, I have no idea where I was at.
Don't pick up on your feelings. We don't. Yeah. Nobody wants that. Unless you're gonna do awkward turtle dance, then you can pick up on your feelings.
do I turtle dance while I do it? No. Honestly, though, like I was touching on the fact that prior to some of these race riots that have, because this is what this is. These are race riots. Prior to this race riot happened, we had Brian Sumner on the program, and we were talking about the fact of, does violence ever make this situation, or will violence ever be the key to solving this situation? And at one point you found yourself on the opposite side of the spectrum. Now, it very much it makes me very happy to see that you have come around to the other side.
When I was saying what I was saying, I wasn't saying, I was saying what I was saying out of frustration, really, saying that there's nothing left but violence, really.
Right, and now, unfortunately, the country agreed with you, and it has,
the country, the whole country.
Okay. The members of the country who are currently acting out in violence seem to have agreed with you, whether they heard that or not. We'll call that Schrodinger's comment.
Are you blaming me for Milwaukee?
So you're the Severin. Let's just call them the Severin followers. Okay.
Yes.
The Severin followers agreed with you.
Yes.
Violence is the answer.
And now we're sitting around and we're seeing the blowback of that, and the fact that it's obviously, once again, not the answer. Now, the problem is that there really isn't one. The answer to the problem that has yet to arise.
Well, hang on, I do feel I need to clear something up too. I was very adamant. I never said people need to be shot or anything like that kind of violence.
Correct.
I said that they need to be physically removed. That they're not going to leave on
the H3
crowd need to go in there, pick them up, take them out of the police stations, take them out of whatever. If these people will not do their jobs like the public wants them to, then replace them. Get them gone.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
what the starting point here is, maybe we don't all agree with what the problem is. What problem are you identifying that you want solved?
That police get away with everything. They can do what they want, and they know it. They don't pay. Their pensions aren't penalized when they get sued. They have endless lawsuits, and they just do what they want.
So do you believe that you can reform the police in the present under... I refer to government, the state, whatever you want to call it, I refer to it as a coercive enterprise because it's just a business. It's a business that coerces you into buying a product that you don't want, but it's a coercive enterprise. Do you want to reform the police system within the framework of that coercive system? Is that...
I want to privatize. I support privatizing it. A lot of people in the Copblock organization say abolish. They don't want it at all. They want a totally free society. I have said before that I think some form of government is inevitable in any peaceful society. You need to have people that make decisions on things.
Well, absolutely.
If our current system, if our current people are doing things wrong, then yeah, get rid of them.
I mean, regardless of how big your society is, even if you go down to, 6 guys living in the bush, you still have one person who everybody looks at as to see who is the one who's making the big decisions. You still have, at the end of the day, our society does look to see who is our leader. We unfortunately have a sheep mentality of, point and follow.
Well, it makes perfect sense, though, to have somebody who's really good at building houses to be in charge of building houses. It makes sense. I don't want to be in charge of that. I don't know how to do that.
Two points here. First, if you have a society of 6 dudes, that society's not going to last, so screw them. And, well, they probably are. And the second point is, for me at least, when you say government, I say governance, so some people don't even like the word governance. I'm okay with the word governance. The starting point that we have is we have a police department that is going out and it is unaccountable and it is enforcing arbitrary rules. Oh, I'm sorry, we're on the other side. I guess we
were cutting to it and we're right out on a break now. Go ahead, finish your thought.
I'll wait till we get back because this is so important. It's probably going to change everybody's lives. I say that with humility.
You're going to forget because this is our longest break for the whole show.
Okay, so I will just say really briefly, the problem is that you have arbitrary rules which are enforced by dudes, for instance, stopping you because you're driving too fast. These cops are put in positions every single day where they are potentially setting off a firestorm. And the starting point isn't even the police. The starting point is that you have a people condition, like you guys said, people conditioned to accept a leader, to accept a coercive type of governance, and it doesn't have to be that way. It is not the human condition. It is learned. It is not natural. I got that in fast. Did we go to break yet, or?
We've been on a break, but when I edit this for the podcast, I think I'll just play that, let that part stay.
Oh, okay. I don't like farting into the wind. I'm not a fan.
It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our
it gives
like it, Facebook.freetalklive.com, and then hover over it to click get notifications.
I said I don't like farting in the wind, and then it said it gives us more exposure. Come on.
Click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
Arcade City is a ride-sharing app built by drivers, not a mega corporation. As a driver with Arcade City, you can keep all of what you earn. Sign up now to drive for or ride with Arcade City at arcade.freetalklive.com. Arcade City is connecting drivers directly with riders and has been making headlines for disrupting the ride-sharing industry. Sign up now at arcade.freetalklive.com. That's arcade.freetalklive.com.
More Copblock Radio is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 17th, 2016. Silver is trading at $19.70 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,344 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $579. Antiwar.com reports for the third straight day Saudi Arabia's warplanes are caught up in a high-profile incident of civilian deaths in Yemen, this time attacking a house in the Nim district near the capital of Sana'a. The attacks destroyed a house and killed 17 civilians. The large death toll for a single home was the result of a double-tap incident in which the first strike collapsed the house on top of the family, and relatives from the neighborhood scrambled to try to rescue them, only for the rescuers themselves to be targeted in subsequent strikes. This came after a Sunday incident in which Saudi warplanes attacked a school, killing 10 children, and a Monday incident in which they destroyed a Doctors Without Borders hospital, killing 15 more civilians. Throughout the war, the Saudis have been criticized for their huge civilian death tolls of airstrikes, but the number of incidents seem to be growing dramatically in recent weeks, with the UN General Assembly last week agreeing the Saudis could investigate themselves on war crimes. The coalition announced on Tuesday they'll be setting up an investigatory body to look into the recent strikes. Those Saudi officials have already praised the killings of the children at the school, accusing them of being terrorists in training. So far, Saudi officials have justified every single incident of civilian killings in Yemen or insisted they did not happen at all. If you're fed up with the government running every aspect of your life, but you're not listening to the Lava Flow podcast yet, what's wrong with you? Go right now to thelavaflow.com/listen. The Lava Flow podcast, channeling the flow of information to the libertarian, anarcho-capitalist, voluntarist, and agorist community. Subscribe today using any podcatcher at thelavaflow.com/listen, or just go back to sucking up to the government. The Lava Flow podcast, striking the root every episode. UPI reports a new blaze seared its way into the pockmarked Southern California landscape Tuesday, shattering parts of two major freeways and forcing mandatory evacuations in an area that's already been extensively blackened by wildfire so far this year. The so-called Blue Cut fire was first reported around 11 a.m. local time Tuesday and grew quickly, consuming nearly 2,000 acres in about an hour's time near the Cajon Pass in San Bernardino National Forest. By late Tuesday, officials said the fire had grown to 5,500 acres. The fire burned just off Interstate 15 along a well-traveled stretch of highway between Los Angeles and Las Vegas and billowed thick grayish-black smoke that could be seen for miles. Witness Nika Eckstein told UPI, "When we were driving into it, we were wondering if there was an explosion because it looked like a giant mushroom cloud. Containment was at 0% early Tuesday afternoon, according to fire officials, and the blaze is being aided by mild wind gusts and triple-digit temperatures. The fire's location is about 65 miles northeast of downtown Los Angeles. The San Bernardino County Fire Department issued mandatory evacuations for the West Cajon Valley from Highway 2 to Interstate 15. A nearby elementary school was also evacuated. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the FBI on Tuesday turned over a number of documents to congressional investigators from its recent investigation into Hillary Clinton's controversial email use as Secretary of State. The Bureau concluded a lengthy investigation into the matter last month, at which time it stated criminal charges against the Democratic presidential candidate were not warranted. The Departments of Justice and State have been separately reviewing questions about whether Clinton used a private and unsecured email server to send or receive classified information between 2009 and 2013 when she was a top official in the Obama administration. Tuesday's release of the documents followed requests by House Republicans, particularly House Oversight and Reform Committee Chairman Jason Chaffetz, to review FBI materials that were used to conclude Clinton committed no criminal wrongdoing. A committee spokesperson on Tuesday said, "Staff is currently reviewing the FBI information that is classified secret. There are no further details at this time." Included in the documents were reportedly notes to agents took last month during a 3.5-hour interview with Clinton on the matter. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
In a survey, nearly study suggested that most boys lose their virginity at 16 or 17. But when we gathered 13-year-olds in a room and asked them if they'd had sex, they not only said yes, but they also were clear that sex was no big deal for them, that they weren't nervous before having it, and that when they do have sex, they do it for hours at a time.
And you discovered that these young teenagers have sex with nearly every attractive woman they know, including their babysitters, teachers, and even Hollywood celebrities.
10% of boys in junior high school say they received a blowjob from Katy Perry while they were on vacation in Los Angeles.
And what about teenage girls? Did your study find out anything new about their sexual habits?
We didn't talk to any teenage girls. The boys we surveyed told us not to because they'd probably just lie and deny it.
This is the Onion News Network.
I love the Onion News. And this is Copblock Radio. My name is Severin Freeman, Lehigh Valley Copblock.
This is Matthew Taylor of Carbon County Copblock.
And this is Paul Gordon of the Six Dudes Hanging Out in the Bush tribe. Yeah, wait, no, I'm not in that tribe anymore. There was a lot of sausage making going on in that tribe, so I had to move on. Hey, Matt, I think it was in your restaurant. I think they're hanging out in your restaurant. That makes sense, actually. Yeah. I'll say I'm Paul with Full Auto. How about that? Or Disassociation Nation. I don't know.
That's what I listened to the other day. I was pretty entertained by it.
You listened to Full Auto, right?
Oh, it looks like I'm getting a call on the Skype line. You guys talk for a moment. I'll be right back.
Talk amongst yourselves while you go ahead and leave us and Skype with your mom again. So
no,
go ahead.
There's a chance that this might be Patrick.
Uh-oh. Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah, I'm hearing it from you too.
Yeah, we've got that.
Apparently we hear it, but they don't.
This is a special sound effect that we have added to the show. This costs millions of dollars to add this sound effect. So you're all welcome. And I'm setting up a GoFundMe account to reimburse me for the money I put into that sound effect.
So if any of you guys would like to donate to that, please go ahead and head over to GoFundMe and create that for us so we can actually...
Yes, exactly. Yes. Actually, Matt, you are looking for some sponsorship, right? For your microphone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys would like to go ahead and donate to that, you can head over to copblock.org and donate to Copblock Radio so we can go ahead and get me off of this pooty microphone.
It is a pooty mic. Did you say a pooty microphone? Because it's a pooty microphone.
All right,
definitely a pooty.
We have a caller on the line that wants to give his 2 cents on the riots. I almost said Baltimore riots. There's so many damn riots in it.
It all blurs together.
It's all blurring together. So how you doing,
up, Pat?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
So tell me what about what we were just talking about made you want to call in, and what your 2 cents is about what's going on.
Oh man, it's just all this racism.
Hang on 1 second. Can you do me a favor and turn off the computer in the background?
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. Can you do me a favor and turn off?
Do you have headphones?
Yeah. Live Copblock. How about that?
Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. We can hear ourselves talking back. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, man, I just wanted to say that all this racism is upsetting to me. Like, I took a whole lot of it, growing up, like my whole life. Town I grew up in, mostly black schools I went to. I was the only black person, the only white person in my class. For many years, I suffered a lot of racism, but I grew up, and you know what? I didn't hold it against them. I knew where it came from. It was the parents. The parents, definitely. And even today, I talk to some of them, and they tell me where they got it from. It was from their grandparents, and
so what do you think?
Their parents, of course, they were all taught this because of the way that they were treated way back in the Gap.
What do you think is the main cause of the anger on the streets today? Do you think it's
ignorance?
Ignorance? Amen.
Absolutely, it's just very ill-informed people. They've been brought up, raised a certain way. Like, they're used to eating one thing. You can't just feed them something else. That's all they know. They grew up in these neighborhoods that are bad, where all they do is get up and they fight every day because they don't have any type of a positive influence or they don't have anything else to do. If you've been to the ghettos in the big cities, I've been all across the U.S. and I've been through a lot of ghettos, and unfortunately it's pretty bad. I mean, these kids literally from a very young age have nothing better to do than to get up and fight each other, and all they do is fight, and that's a fact.
So you think it's a built-in social situation that they were already a part of, a community of violence, and this was just an excuse, pretty much?
There are, I mean, of course, I mean, they're always looking for that trigger. I mean, what triggers you? What triggered us to get on here? It's just having enough.
I thank you so much for your call tonight. I'm going to jump off, but thank you so much for calling with your opinion. Call back anytime.
All right, bro.
Thanks, Pat. Anyways, he's right, though, because, I mean, nobody is born racist. You don't come out the womb and you're racist. It's all about your upbringing and your environment. And if you're in an environment that, you know, you grow up with these ignorant mindsets and all of that, you're bound to pick up on it and become just another cog in that ignorant machine.
I think, though, that there's a whole other level that's happening right now in the black community that I believe is, and when I say the black, I don't mean the whole black community, because like every community, there's all kinds of variations. But I'm talking specifically about the ghetto black community. And I actually grew up in Harrisburg, and I grew up in many different.
Sorry.
I know. I grew up in many different places, but one of the places I grew up was in Allison Hill in Harrisburg, which is the ghetto. I spent a lot of time in the ghetto. And it's not all fighting. It's not. There is some fighting, and yeah, I took a gun to school, and I did take a knife to school, so it was more violent. Definitely, you felt like you needed, if you could find your mom's what was it? I think it was like a 25 or some weird. I didn't know anything about guns back then, but there was a lot of folks there that were just like me, just like trying to get out, trying to figure a way to get out. But what we see now beyond I believe the I'm going to say normal racism, and I'm not necessarily believing that racism is necessarily normal, but we're seeing a hyped up anti-white racism that's being ginned up, you know, the white guilt, the white privilege, all of this stuff, and I believe in part it's kind of like it's the despot trying to distract people from the fact that the despot is totally letting the people down. I promised you in the 60s. Go ahead, sorry.
I just got a question for you. Like, do you have some of this white privilege? Because can I get some of it? Because I've never experienced it.
I keep it in the bank. I just wait to cash that in, that white privilege. Sweet white privilege.
I just went off on one of these guys the other day. He was on one of my videos, and he said, nothing but a bunch of privileged white boys. No thanks, we don't need your help.
I don't even listen to that. I shut that. I don't care.
Who the hell do you think you are? No thanks. I'm doing this for me.
I deal in the language of power. I do not believe in the rule of law. I don't believe in the Constitution. Severin, I'm just getting to know you. I don't know what your frame of reference is. I don't know what your moral code is. All I understand between you and I, so far that I understand, is you don't seem to be in favor of coercion, just like me, which is cool. So there's a frame of reference for us. And I don't care why you believe it. But the language between you and I, and unless and until we have agreement about what, we share the same values, is power. If you try to come into my home, I'll shoot you in the face, and I bet you if I try to come into your home, you'll shoot me in the face. So if you want to come and tell me that I have white privilege or white guilt or any of that stuff, I really don't give a rat's whatever you think about me. If you try and take my stuff, I'm going to show you that it's power. It's not words. It's not anything but power. Power comes in many forms. It's not just guns. It's all kinds of things. It's the power of commerce or whatever. But I only deal with them in the language of power. I think the fundamental underlying thing here is, and I don't have an answer to this. The question is this human nature or is this human teaching? And I think it's teaching or conditioning that we are taught to think so collectively, that we are naturally much more inclined to look at people on an individual basis and assess who they are, what their character, what their worth is, who they are in your life, whether they mean you good or ill. But we are taught at an early age to think collectively. The underlying problem is collectivism. And just let me finish up here real quick.
One of us,
but it's the despots have promised since the 60s with the start of the war on poverty that they were going to lift all these blacks out of poverty. They changed the paradigm. First, socialists said, listen, if you do socialism, we'll all be wealthy. Oh, man, no, we'll all be socially just and we'll all be equal. That was in the 60s. They switched. It hasn't happened. So what do? They have to create a boogeyman, and the boogeyman is the white man. It's not us. It's not our policies. It's not the fact that we put you on the government teat and we did it in a way that you couldn't even have fathers in your houses. That's not our fault. It's the white man. Oh, by the way, we're white, but don't look at that. But here's some money. Go and kill some white people. Awesome! There you go. That's it. That's what we're dealing with.
Hey, just so before we cut to the commercial, I did try to cue you, but you were on a good little rant there, so it's cool.
Yeah.
What did I do?
If you're ever on a rant, just try to pay attention to my cube, because when I hear the commercial coming, I go like this: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When we're about to go out.
Oh, I didn't see. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's basically
cool.
like the wrap it up box.
No, it was a good rant. That's why I didn't cut you off. I wanted to let you finish it.
Oh man, I farted into the wind again. Did you guys hear it when I said I farted into the wind and then come back and the commercial said, but we get more exposure. Okay.
And a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nina Vagabi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
This is your Roberts & Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Wednesday, gold is $2 lower at $1,345 per ounce. Silver is 15 cents lower at $19.70 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $571 US. With silver heading lower, this is a great time to buy on the dip. Get started today and give us a call at 800-874-9760 or visit us online at rrbi.co.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
The warning signs.
First, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me. About my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
Stop the insanity of voting for the same old abusers. Declare your independence from the two-party system and join the New Hampshire Liberty Party today at nhliberty.info.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
We are awesome, and this is Copblock Radio.
I'm not awesome.
I am.
I'm fantastic.
I am humbly awesome, though, so it's okay.
Ooh.
I'm not humbly awesome.
Are you just awesome?
I'm just awesome.
Captain Awesome.
Did I tell you about when I chalked the thin blue line, Paul?
No. I did see an event that you had that somebody was upset because you drew chalk on government property, and they're very upset that the government would spend a lot of money because they hadn't learned what rain was.
Oh yeah, that was.
Rain is a thing. Look it up.
We have no idea how to get this chalk off, but water might one day fall from the sky.
Oh, that's wishful thinking. Thinking.
Usually when I chalk something, they spend taxpayer money to get the fire truck because they don't like their butthurt slogans.
Oh, that's too bad.
And they can't wait for the next rain. They can't stand the embarrassment. But Paul, are you aware of this? That even local police departments around here, a few of them, have put a thin blue line.
Oh yes. Northampton Township Police. Yep. They got that thin blue line. Oh gosh.
You saw it. You've seen that one. That's the one I have not chalked.
I threw up.
That's the one I have not chalked yet. I'm actually going to go chalk that soon.
Yeah, Northampton Township Police. They didn't do it. The road crew did it to support them.
Yeah, well, it's ridiculous, and it's taxpayer money. And
absolutely, it's
regulations, it's gang graffiti, and it's disgusting. And I didn't authorize it. And if they want to do it, let them pay for it. And then
absolutely.
You know what? Though. Then again, though.
Hold on. If they do pay for it, I get to color outside my house, my favorite colors, and I'm going to pick the ugliest damn colors because that thin blue line just pisses me off.
Here's the thing, though. I see that on the road, and you know what? I'm going to take it for what it is. So if the thin blue line is there, I'm going to look at it as, okay, that means I can do whatever the fuck I want in that thin blue line, because if they can, that means that I should be able to as well. So, if it's there...
Doesn't work like that.
It's a purge zone.
You don't want to try that.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing... Well, at the end of the day... there's nothing on record to tell me what those lines stand for, so therefore, what am I supposed to do in a traffic situation as I'm driving through it? Should I stop? Should I swerve to the other side? Did it just become Europe? Do I drive on the other side?
Hey, does this mean I hit the oncoming car? I think this means I hit the oncoming car.
You know what?
It's driving reverse?
Because it is on a solid line. Does that mean I get to cross at that spot? Or I'm confused, and I worry that might cause an accident.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If it works for everybody else's fear and imagination can make laws, I want a law there. I want the thin blue line banned.
We must have law and order. I mean, really.
Yeah. Well, everybody else's imagination. I mean, your imagination, just because of your imagination, they're allowed to do checkpoints because it could happen. Well, I mean,
they're going to be doing checkpoints in Jersey, so
just because of your imagination, you are not allowed to drive your own vehicle without a seatbelt because it could save your life. It could kill you too.
I do actually advocate for wearing a seatbelt. I just don't advocate for a law for it, but I do.
Yeah, I mean, some things are smart decisions.
It's common sense. I mean, there shouldn't be a law that governs over people's common sense.
Well, see, this is the underlying issue that we're always dealing with the police. It's they're going out and they're enforcing these arbitrary laws, which how many of these arbitrary laws are intended to prevent a crime or something bad from happening? This is like Minority Report low tech. That's what this is. This is Minority Report low tech. You know what? You're drinking, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a ticket. I do a newspaper in the Lehigh Valley, and it's not a newspaper yet. I'm hoping by next July it becomes a newspaper. It's just a news outlet right now. But I do not cover DUIs, and I do not cover drug busts. I do not cover victimless quote-unquote crimes. Don't do it. See, that's what a voluntarist values news publication does.
Well, something that kind of gets me is the fact that, on a nationwide scale, one of the things that I hear complained about a lot is, this millennial safe space mentality, and everybody is kind of, really against the fact that, everybody wants these safe spaces. They'll say the fact that, people are too PC and stuff like that, but then we turn around and the worst offenders of this millennial safe space mentality is the fucking police themselves, because that's all their job is the fact that, oh, he did something I don't like, so maybe we should turn around and call the cops and have them, arrested, or they should be talked to. Like, fuck that. Okay? If when did we as a society go, we're bitches, let's have somebody else do it for us? I mean, we as human beings have been solving our own problems for a good long time until just somebody decided to go, you know what? Let's have them do it. And the second we decide to say, let's have them do it, is the second we created this problem that we're in right now. Because, at first this whole thing started off as peacekeepers. They were legitimately only supposed to be around in case something was, going on to the sense of the people involved could not solve it themselves. They were basically mediators. And then at some point we decided to arm them, and then at some point we decided to give them a book to go by, and then we started just filling that book with arbitrary bullshit. And now we're at a point where it's it seems so impossible to turn around, when realistically, if everybody just kind of all at once and as a collective mindset just went, how about we just don't? It would change the entire game. I mean, could you?
This is my underlying philosophy. I deal in power. I'm always about power. Power is the only language between two people who don't share the same values. And the power is the ability and the willingness and the understanding that you can to say no. As long as we can't say no, they have the power. But if we could say no, and how can we say no? Well, we're armed. You cut off. You end the monetary system that's controlled by the government. We've got Bitcoin. We've got alternatives. We can grow our own food. We have friends that are doctors. We can take care of ourselves. But if we can't take care of ourselves, then we're desperate, and that's just where they want us. Then we're like, well, we gotta accept this because security is kind of needed, and we can't defend ourselves. Somebody breaks into my home, I'm going to go fetal under the bed and call the cops and pray that I don't get killed before the cops get there. Not me. I'm going to grab disorder. That's my friend's name. His name is Disorder.
What's absolutely fascinating to me is the fact that right now we live under the thumb of the decisions being made by a group of about 1,000 people. All right, so we have these 1,000 people who are making these decisions, and then they're being enforced by another 1.2 million. Okay, now that sounds like a lot. You're like, oh man, well, okay, 1.2 million is a big number until you really sit back and go, well, wait a second, there's 390 million of us. Why the hell are we allowing them to have the power? And that's something you guys should think about.
We'll be right back with more Copblock Radio.
I don't have another thumb. I can't.
I have 10. No,
all right.
Fingers.
We have 2 segments left, and then we have Avery that we have to do, and we have the interview with Kristan that we have to do. So
let's wrap it on Avery
first, and we're gonna go out on the interview with Kristan.
Okay.
He's not. Looks like he's not coming on live. He's not answering. I think he probably fell asleep. It's been crazy up his way, but I actually have a pre-recorded interview.
Okay.
What's the Avery one? I read all the stories, but
the release of Making of a Murderer Guy.
Oh, he's innocent. Totally.
Yeah.
No, I know nothing about it.
All right, that's
okay, well, I guess this is going to be a Severin and Matt debate.
I'll interject something about Harambe in between, so it'll, Keep the audience listening.
Well, let's switch it up. Why don't we go to pineapple pizza?
The Silk Road was a gift to humanity, helping heal the harms brought on by drug prohibition.
Wait,
This good
pineapple.
deed, Ross
What am
has
I
been
missing
sentenced
here?
to life.
Don't even talk.
You're totally out of
Apparently,
the
the
game.
entire internet
Yeah. Have you met the internet?
No.
is on it in the last 3 weeks.
I should introduce you. Internet is great.
Visit freeross.org.
It's
You mean I can do more than just talk to you guys here?
You could.
I'm telling you, there's a world of shit posting out there that you're just not seeing.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the children. It's unfortunate. I have a Facebook friend that actually I created a Facebook page, a group for him today, and it's called Daniel Quinlan is the worst human being ever. That's the name
I
of the
need to be a
Facebook
part of
group.
that.
And he made a pineapple watermelon pizza.
Being free and independent. What the Free State Project is managing to do is to put more money into them.
Let me just say for the record, in case anybody's listening, I don't know about this issue, but it's freaking terrible. It's very wrong for people to put pineapple on pizza. It's not right.
What about pineapple watermelon pizza?
That just goes.
That's an abomination.
I would really have to take his. I'm all about personal property and respecting that kind of stuff.
No.
But I would really have to go over my own boundaries and
I really-
take it from him
I
and have
really-
to throw it away.
I really
No.
think that's a violation of the NAP. So
I don't
you're
care
free
if
to
it's
do
a
what you
violation
need
of the
to do.
NAP. That
No,
pizza,
he is the violation of the NAP. The
yes,
pizza.
the pizza is a
Yes.
violation of the NAP. That is
Absolutely.
that is far too much for a pizza.
Online.
That's why I created the group. Daniel Quinlan is the worst human being ever.
Please do your online shopping at shop.lrn.fm.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to may be even more nervous than you are. And the way things are now, your references have never been more important. Here are 3 tips. First, know that employers are checking. Every hire is under the microscope these days. Second, they won't just be checking references you provide. Figure that all of your ex-employers will get a call and be asked, would you hire him or her again? Third, assume you will be Googled. So before you apply, remove all those party animal photos from your Facebook page. Even if you're not in the job market, effective communication skills have never been more important, with money and attention so scarce now. For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
That's right.
Oh, I left you hanging.
Yeah, we're back.
I left you hanging on Awkward Turtle Dance. I apologize.
Hey, guys.
I didn't realize we were back and we were in awkward turtle mode.
Remember the news? We do have some.
Hey, let's do the news. You know, the thing is, Severin, you keep distracting us with pineapple pizzas and stuff.
Well, during the break, we were talking about pineapple pizza. I'm unaware that this is an internet debate.
He hasn't met the internet yet.
I'm settling the debate right now. No, you don't put pineapple on pizza. What are you, stupid?
Yes, you
do. I just want to
I will
say
come to your house.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, Daniel Quinlan is the worst human being ever, and I've created a book, a Facebook group. You can look for it. Daniel Quinlan is the worst human being ever. He created a video. He had the nerve to tag me on the video, in which he made a pineapple watermelon pizza.
Now, watermelon does not deserve to be on pizza.
Copblock Radio show, we tackle the real issues.
That's the hardcore issues, folks.
That's one of them.
Issues. Like, this is raw hardcore. We're going to dive in. We're not going to censor. And this is the top issue right now is pineapple on a pizza.
Right. I thought it was about the Avery guy that got released, but apparently it's pineapple pizza.
Wait, Avery guy got released?
Huh?
Did you say Avery guy got released?
I don't know. I'm messing it up, aren't I?
Yeah. It seems like you know about as much about this topic as Severin does know about the internet. So
I know of it. I know of it,
real
though.
quick we dive into the story, I have a really, really funny thing. Okay. To tell you just how much I'm out of touch with the internet, I really thought Netflix and chill meant watch Netflix and relax. And I was using it wrong for a long time before my wife broke the news to me. I had to think back, like, how many awkward times were people like, what the hell is he talking about?
Why are you saying this?
So how many times did you ask people like, you know, Rick to come over and Netflix and chill?
I don't know if I ever did that.
Rick's back.
I think it was more like just a comment on Facebook, like, I'm going to just watch Netflix and chill. And, like, I didn't even think twice about it. I always thought took that at face value until my wife broke the news to me one night. You're using that wrong, honey.
So from now on, the lesson to be learned, if there is something going on the internet and you're not quite sure it's meeting, why don't you get a hold of either myself or Paul so we can set you on the right
exactly.
path.
And also, you know, for all of the public school advocates out there, I'm not one of them, lobby your government to make sure that your children have proper meme education. You don't want them growing up and going into the world without proper meme understanding. Seriously. I raise my taxes if my children can meme.
All right, it's time to pull this car back over and onto the road, and let's get back to the stories at hand.
The biggest thing on the news, I believe we even had a show titled, like, near it, Making of a Murderer. It's on Netflix. Anybody who hasn't seen it, go check it out. It is definitely something that you want to watch. It's like a 10-part series on one guy getting set up by the police, Stephen Avery.
Multiple times.
And he got out of jail. He beat the charges after they put him in jail for, 10 years he spent in jail or something?
Yeah, and it was for a falsified rape charge against him.
He spent time in prison on a conviction. Finally, he got it overturned. He got out, and right when he's about to get paid his lawsuit, they arrested him again on a new murder charge. Well, this is the story. This is a documentary. It's a full breakdown of everybody's point of view. Well, the second main person who was connected to this murder was just released. So what does this mean for Stephen Avery? I'm not sure, but it shows a good sign if they're turning over the main person that they were using for Stephen Avery's conviction. The guy that they released, what's his name? Brendan. Yep. His confession was used in Avery's conviction. That means
it was the cornerstone of his conviction.
He's entitled to a new trial at this point.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this all went down in 2005, and now we're sitting here in 2016. And honestly, it's like finding out that Stephen, that this whole entire case, was hinged on a murder weapon, and it's supposed to be a Colt 45, and you find out it's a banana. Like, that's what literally just happened. So the whole thing has to go back to the beginning. And the fact that the poor man's still going to be sitting in jail, and the fact that the whole thing isn't being thrown out because the person who supposedly gave the most damning testimony against him turns out to have been coached and coerced, means that this whole thing has to start over. But, oh, wait, it can't, because to do that would be double jeopardy. So the fact that they actually just cleared one of them means that they have to turn around and clear the other one, because at this point they don't have any surefire way to sit there and say, oh, he did it. They can't.
So it looks like, it sounds to me like you think he's innocent.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I do.
I don't have a popular opinion on Avery, I guess.
No, I think he's a pineapple pizza, but go on.
I watched the entire thing.
As did I.
I really, really thought about it for a while, and I don't know.
Now, I went beyond making
it a little too far-fetched to me, and the kid's confession kind of really threw me off, and the way that they got that confession is one thing, but I don't care how long you're screaming at me. If I'm not going to say I killed somebody and that my uncle helped me. I don't care. Like, where would you get that unless it actually happened?
Well, I mean, you did watch this, so the fact that you watched it means that you actually listened to some of these, things that happen inside of the interrogation rooms. And one of the things that absolutely happened was they took somebody who does not have himself a really good, grasp on social interactions, and they hounded the kid for hours and hours.
How old was he during the interrogation?
He was 15, and he did not have parents around. I mean, when they turned around and got him to say that he was involved in this, I mean, the kid still was under the assumption that once he said this, he was going to go back to class. Like he didn't even realize that he had just admitted to a murder. Like he thought he had no comprehension of the situation
I look into Avery's eyes though, and I see a killer. I don't know. I guess it's judgmental, but
I look into this man's eyes, and you know what I see? I see somebody you're looking at a picture of a man who just had how much of his life ripped away from a false conviction. And honestly, when you sit there and you do that much time, I think the last thing you're going to do is just, when you're sitting on the verge of getting $33 million in a hand-it-to-me lawsuit, the last thing you're going to do is kill some rando motherfucker who's coming to look at a band. Like, that's just not, that makes no sense. There's no premeditation. There's
Unless he really is totally out of his gourd.
Which, I mean, if he was totally out of his gourd...
The story of how it happened seems very feasible. He tried to pursue this girl. He thought she was attractive, and she said no, and he got mad because he's big bad Steve Avery and went after her. And, I mean, he could kind of feel pumped up and tough after beating that case like he did. I don't know.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying the conspiracy. It's too big for me. It's too many pieces. Like, there's just too many people would have had to have been involved, and I can't imagine
9/11.
Well, that was George Bush. We all know that.
Right, but okay, let me ask you this, okay? You have a township, Wadawosa, all right? You have a township right there that has less than 2,000 people in its total, population. And now this township was on the hook for $33 million. You don't think that everybody and their dog was going to be in on making sure that didn't happen? I mean, come on. That's one of those things where, you're definitely going to do everything to do it. And the fact that to make sure it doesn't happen, and the fact that they already had him in such a position where, yes, okay, you do have him being acquitted of the initial charges, but that doesn't change the fact that there is already a narrative in play that this man is or was a convicted felon of a heinous crime. So the narrative sits already.
I believe he was a victim of a horrible crime, and I believe he thought he can get away with doing it again. That's what I believe. But we'll be right back with more of this, and we have a brand new story with Guest Kristan Harris was on the ground in Milwaukee, and we have an interview with him. Okay, real quick. Paul.
Yes, sir.
Are you hearing the crackling when Matt talks?
I'm hearing it when everybody talks.
Really?
Yep,
Yeah,
you and Matt.
I'm not hearing it coming from Paul, and I don't hear it play back over for me like I did earlier, but I definitely hear it every time that you talk, Severin.
Me?
Yeah, right now you're the only one I hear it from, Severin.
Which leads me to believe that that's where the problem originates. Just a thought. And you know what? I don't think it's 100% your fault. Honestly, I think it's the fact that the internet service in this frickin' state, no matter where you're at, is horseshit. Which is why the fact that Google Fiber is about ready to launch, let's hope, really, really hope that Google Fiber comes to Pennsylvania and in our local townships, because at 100 megabytes per or 100 gigabytes per second, I don't think we'll ever have this problem again.
You know what, Severin? You don't have the same mic as I have.
It's a different color.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same.
You don't have these connections in the back?
Yeah, I have that.
A volume control, a headset jack, and
Yep.
Severin, I gotta be, and I'm doing it too now. But
Everybody's doing it.
We both sound like we're freaking blowing a robot. That's the best way I can put it.
That's not a bad thing. That's not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, for all of you guys out there who are into animatronic
Blowing robots.
stimulation.
Yeah, we're not judging.
Oh, there's a ghost in here. My camera literally just jumped off of my post.
All right. Well, when we come back up, we have our final story of the night anyway, and then I'll have the raw audio, and I'll see if it was like that.
We got some real men who stare at goat shit going on here tonight, I swear.
I saw that movie. I'm not prepared to say anything else more about that movie.
Men who stare at goats.
Oh yeah, fun movie.
Yes.
I don't know if it's supposed to be fun, but it was.
It had the dude.
Crackle poppy, crackle poppy, crackle poppy.
Now you're doing it too.
Yep. I'm doing it better.
What is doing it?
The NSA.
They don't want us stopping these truth bombs.
We're gonna be back in. We have 60 seconds.
Our SoundCloud is gonna sound horrendous.
I won't even put it up if it's like that. I seriously won't.
According to a lot of the people who's listening, it seems like we're the only ones who are actually experiencing it, and they're not. So there's a good chance that...
Yeah, Ian would have been in my headset already saying, dude, you sound like crap. They can hear it in their place.
Yeah, so there's a good chance that we're the only ones who are running into this problem.
See, I'm only hearing it when you're talking, Matt. You're the only one I hear it for. Because it crackles a little bit, and then it comes back.
And I hear it intermittently with both of you and with myself.
Yeah, so...
Damn. All right, well, I'll let you know. You'll see me bitching online anyway. Damn, that episode was unusable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take a look at the YouTube feed the second we're off of here and see if it was doing it the whole time or not.
All right, we're coming.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This is Copblock Radio. I'm Stephen Freeman, Lehigh Valley Copblock.
I'm Matt Taylor of Carbon County Copblock.
I'm Paul Gordon of Full Auto and Disassociation Nation. There you go. See, I got that time. Nailed it.
Well, we have an interview with Kristan Harris that was pre-recorded. I'm not going to try to play it like it wasn't pre-recorded. But we're going to play that interview now. And it was actually an interview he did with InfoWars. So... he's on the ground out there. I did talk to him. He was going to join us tonight if he was able. I guess he was unable. He actually went to a Trump rally that was out of control yesterday. It's been protests down there. He is, by the way, a white man, and he does mention the fact that it's not like people are saying. He's out.
I do have to say something. You definitely just mentioned two things that I just can't get behind. You mentioned Trump, and you also mentioned something connected to Alex Jones, and I can't back either one of those.
Yeah, well, it's a solid interview from Kristan on the ground, but I got to start it now because we have just enough time.
Hope it doesn't sound like a robot.
The last few days, what's evolved? What's happened? Well, it seems like the locals have started to dissipate, but there was a lot of rage at first, a lot of confusion on what was going on. And I think locals in general are very concerned about their community and keeping it together. I used to work in the area on 76th and Capitol here for many years, so I think that the community is really good, and they've started to respond. They just want to have an open dialogue to try to come to some sort of solution, and it doesn't seem like that dialogue is there. And yeah, I think a lot of people reacted very poorly to the officer shooting. There's very little facts out there to begin with, and obviously now, since the facts have been coming out, things have been a little bit more timid.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to open a dialogue when you actually have people coming out and targeting white journalists, so that kind of puts a bridge there in the way. But what have you noticed, say today, have people been a little bit more open to talk to you, or are people still a little apprehensive about the whole situation?
Well, I've been able to really go to Sherman Park and talk to a lot of people, and I got a lot of positive feedback. It seems, like I said, a lot of people just want to be listened to, and everyone has different ideas on how to fix their community. But the truth is like you mentioned, it's really hard to have an open dialogue when people are being targeted. We really need to find a way to have a civil conversation, and that can happen as long as there's a lot of violence. And like I said, I don't think that was the right reaction, but at the same time, these people are concerned, and I think a lot of this had to go with, media hype, a lot of media propaganda, as well as there's a lot of people out there that are just upset with past non-accountability for certain police cases across America.
Well, I'm not very familiar with the area per se, so is that a large problem in this area, the fact that there are maybe police brutality, the lack of accountability? Does that run amok here in the police department?
Well, we had the Arrow Park incident where a homeless person was shot on or beat up on a bench and died, as well as we had the flash mobs earlier at State Fair several years ago. So there has been a growing tension between different ethnicities, mostly, like I said, media hyped it. In general, most people are very kind, they're open, and they really love each other, but there's a certain group of bad apples in the local community that are really taking advantage of all the hype to really push an agenda. And I think we're seeing a lot of that throughout the communities.
In Ferguson, we saw outsiders coming in and starting a bunch of stuff. Do you think the same thing was going on here, or was this something that was totally localized?
Well, at this time, I haven't seen any outsiders or any evidence of this, but I wouldn't doubt it. I have seen in the past Craigslist ads where they have been looking to hire protesters and people to go out and show a certain viewpoint that really isn't theirs. They're there to be hired, like crowds on demand per se. I haven't seen any of that here. Obviously, there was a very small crowd today, and so far it seems like just a local community that has really been upset, specifically the neighborhood of Sherman, these couple blocks here.
Now, do you think that this crowd is going to die down, or do you envision, do you think it's going to be like Ferguson where, it kind of died down for a couple days, people regrouped and came back? Are you hearing anything in the streets? Are you hearing anything from the locals that maybe people are kind of resetting, regrouping, and planning to come out and maybe protest, better organize again?
Well, I guess it all depends on what upcoming drama there might be. I think for the most part, if there isn't any real trouble or controversial shootings in the near future, that we won't see this, it'll dissipate. But I think if there's more rabble-rousing and people getting involved, and maybe, like we mentioned, outsiders coming in, you can really see how they could fuel the fire. We saw that in Ferguson with George Soros hiring protesters to go protest. Like I said, I haven't seen that here, but it isn't beyond belief that it could happen here.
Well, tomorrow in West Bend, 7:30 p.m., there will be a Donald J. Trump rally. Now, do you think that's going to add fuel to the fire that's kind of been ignited the past few days, or what do you expect? What do you think, for someone who's lived here for a while, has their ear to the ground? Do you think it's going to be a confrontation there? Is this place known for something like that with Donald Trump, a lot of anti-Donald Trump rhetoric in this area?
I believe that there will be protesters there, but I think that West Bend is a ways out, so we won't see a large group of protesters unless, like I said, they bust them in and that there's some funding there. And then if that's the case, then we have to ask where the money is coming from, right? Because that's generally where we can find it. But I don't think there's going to be a huge resistance, but I wouldn't doubt that there will be a few protesters there. As far as Trump's concerned, obviously there's a little bit of fear there. When we saw Paul Ryan going in his primary, he was at least worried. He had the whole media talking about, how he needed to be reelected and how conservative he is. And let's be honest, he's not really conservative when we talk NAFTA and stuff. But when we see these things, when we see these things going on throughout the nation, I think that with the whole Trump rally, we're going to be fine. I don't think there's going to be a lot of drama there, although I can see that there's people who are passionate.
What do you want to say?
I'm trying to say it's fucked up.
Yeah.
What do you think's going on here right now?
Crazy what's going on in the bill. No bullshit.
Yeah. That's it? That's all you... All right. All right, one final question here. So I was watching a YouTube video of it was a local councilman he was a black guy who was talking. He said, this is a sign of what's going on. It's going to get worse because people aren't taking nobody's coming to help us is what he's basically saying. We're not getting any help. And Milwaukee's a city where it's 40% black, 37% white, and then the rest kind of Latino and Asian. And so, African Americans are the majority, but they seem to expect government to help them, and they think government's going to be the answer to their problems. what is the sense of I don't know, like rugged individualism here in Wisconsin? Are people always just dependent on the government?
Well, Milwaukee is the last city to have a socialist mayor. I think that was 1980, if I recall right. And socialism definitely goes deep. We even have a socialist congresswoman in Gwen Moore, by the way. So this whole niche culture has really been very dependent on the government. In fact, when I worked in the city, there was a lot of people that said, you know what, I agree with conservative ideology, but we got to vote for the system that has taken care of us when we've been down. So they're not really liberal per se, but they just are voting for a system that takes care of them over and over again. So it's kind of like that idea that you have them in, basically going from, free slavery to paid slavery now, So all our tax money is being used to help people, and they're okay with that, I guess. Big government, that's what they like here in Milwaukee, and that's what they really push for, except for unless you're Sheriff Clark's case, where they seem to be limiting funds for local police. But that's the UN Agenda 21 way, right?
Right,
so.
Exactly.
Well, there you have it. This is Joe.
And there you have it.
That was intriguing.
Yeah,
Kristan.
I still, he gave a good part of the interview. I still can't get over the fact that I think Alex Jones sounds like nails on a chalkboard. But
Hey!
That was actually so big.
You can't speak. You can't speak about Alex Jones like that. That is wrong. That is. I will rip my shirt off if you keep talking about me like that.
that is actually spot on.
Yeah, that was a good Alex Jones impression.
But
we're at the end of the show, guys. So
already.
Yeah, it's been a quick show. It was a great show.
Time to go to bed, everybody.
About the audio, if there was bad audio, I can't wait to hear the other side, because if it sounds clear, that was a really great show. But
yeah, absolutely.
If you want to find me during the week, I'm Severin Freeman on Facebook. You can find me, friend request me, or Lehigh Valley Copblock on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever you want. It's Lehigh Valley Copblock. Check out the videos and come back next week.
Yeah, if you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook, YouTube, and on the side of any bathroom stall inside of Eastern Pennsylvania. Also, I want to say, guys, find me also on Mondays at 9 p.m. Or 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on either YouTube at Cop Blast Podcast, or also on Carbon County Cop Block live on Facebook.
Yeah, but find him at 10, because you need to find me on Monday at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I know Matt is in Eastern Standard Time too, on Disassociation Nation.
All right, this has been Copblock Radio, guys. Thank you for tuning in. As always, film the police, get a live streaming app. We will be back live next week, provided Matt doesn't have his baby. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Peace.
I'm pregnant.